What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with a new artist on the channel. And indeed, I'd like to start by giving a big shout out to friend and champion of the channel, Yvonne, the person behind the Tragically Hip reactions, which, we're still in the pretty early stages of that, going through the Your Favorites compilation. She also sent me music from the Vapids. But yeah, we've talked a bunch about music in the last few months. She's one of several friends I have north of the border, so to speak. I'm here in California, she's up in Canada, along with, again, a number of other friends of the channel. And yeah, she was saying, I mentioned a couple months ago, I was in a pretty tough spot and I was really worried about my finances, and although those issues haven't entirely abated, I'm certainly in a better place now. And at the time, a number of people reached out, and one of them was Yvonne, and she was basically saying, I'd love to help if I can, even if it's just to, talk and just to try to, talk things out and maybe feel better, like cathartically. I'm definitely here to help. And I really appreciated that. It meant a lot, and again, the support that I got from people through the channel, let me know that this is more than just people who enjoy music. It's become a community on the channel, so that was a really, direct evidence of that. But during the conversations in the coming weeks, she had mentioned to me that, she's been in some tough spots before and is going through some difficult things, and when she's been in situations like that, there is a particular tune by Alanis Morissette that has helped her get through things. And that's the track Mary Jane from her album Jagged Little Pill, 1995, which I believe is her third studio album. So we're going to go through the whole album, but I did want to start with Mary Jane because, again, Yvonne said it was a special tune for her. So yeah, once we go through this, we'll jump back to the beginning and we'll do it chronologically. But yeah, the title Mary Jane, it could be a person's name, obviously. This is a name that I have known for people in life, and I've also seen characters with this name. It is admittedly a slang term for marijuana, so I suppose that's a possibility. I do wonder, what's on offer. Generally speaking, short titles tend to be a bit more opaque, and name titles are even more so, especially if it's not like a famous person who, there's a whole bunch of public knowledge about. So I wonder what will be at hand. Let's find out. This is Alanis Morissette, the 9th tune on her 1995 album Jagged Little Pill, called Mary Jane, though once again, after we go through this, we will jump back to the beginning of the album. Fair to say, I definitely remember her sort of hitting the music scene in the 90s and being aware of her. The tune You Ought to Know, which is on this album, very familiar with it, enjoy that tune a lot. But as far as I know, that's the only one going into it I'm sure that I'm familiar with. Now, there may be one or two others because she was a sort of, phenomenon on the radios that I remember. It is possible that there will be one or two other tracks that I'll recall once they start, but looking at the track list, that's the only one where I can say for certain that I do know it. So, in any case, let's listen. This is Alanis Morissette, Mary Jane from Jagged Little Pill, 1995.
What's the matter, Mary Jane? What a hard day. She placed the don't disturb sign on the door. You lost your place in line again. What a pity. Never seen no one be honest, Mary Jane, are you heavy? Please don't censor your tears.
Vocal variety.
That's why I love you. So take this moment, Mary
I
Jane.
knew that wasn't over.
Don't be selfish. Worry not about the cars that go by. 'Cause all that matters, Mary Jane, is your freedom. So keep warm, my dear. Keep dry. Please be honest, Mary Jane. Tell me.
Heard a lot of different vocal delivery flavors over the course of that song. Yeah, she can go big and powerful, big and almost like forceful. She can go like a bit deeper, like with a bit of rasp, then doing those like almost like flute, like melodic type delivery. Yeah, crazy. Like again, I know her primarily through "You Ought to Know," and that's, she's very vocally intense and aggressive in that song. But this had a wide palette of vocal flavors along the way, so that was cool. And I didn't catch all the lyrics, but it's definitely about a person, and it sounds like a supportive song. It sounds like a song about persistence, and even if you face setbacks or problems, about keeping it going. So I do feel like there's layers and contours, and probably significant ones that I'm missing. But I was sort of like so keyed down on her vocal delivery that I didn't catch all the lyrics in the moment. So yeah, once again, big shout out to Yvonne. I look forward to hearing what she and anyone else has to say about this song, or maybe just this album, or even Alanis more generally. As I said, my knowledge is essentially, like 1%, like very, very slim in relation to it. Admittedly, a major hit. I do think "You Ought to Know" was, I don't know if it sold platinum or whatever, but I remember it was on the radio, it was on MTV. It's definitely, a tune that I remember from my teenage years. So looking forward to hearing that. Looking forward to going through the whole album. Once again, shout out to Yvonne. Hope you and everyone else who's a friend of the channel is in a good way, or at least, confident and hopeful that you'll get back to a good way. So I did want to mention, Yvonne had said that it might be a good idea to make information available related to like mental health groups and so on. I'm going to put a link related to like the health organization in the US. But yeah, whether Yvonne or anyone else, please do let me know if there's any other resources in that regard that would be good to put into a comment. So in any case, big shout out to all of you. Let me know what you think. I'll see you next time. Peace.